to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to be calling, they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
Of course, it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
You know, every time I hear that opening, I say, how true it is. Good morning from the left coast. We do it from the left. We do it from the right. We go straight up the center. We cover all the bases. Live, it's the Lee Michaels Show. I am that guy they call Lee Michaels, and Carol is here. Chris Bass is here. The cast of characters are coming in left and right. We're here to have a little fun and talk about what's going on in the world. And especially with the clown in Midtown Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania Avenue, to be exact. What is that address? 1600. I think what they need to do is move all this shit out in the middle of the night while he's out there on one of his golf courses. Change the locks. Don't let him in. So go back where you came from. You don't live here no more. You've been evicted. Goodbye. If you don't leave now, the security is going to escort you down to your little hotel down the street on Pennsylvania Avenue. That's your White House. Go there. You're not welcome here no more. That's what we need to do to him. Evict him. Put him out. Put him out. What do you think, Carol?
Put him out.
Put him out?
No, I'm watching something else.
Oh, see?
I want to tell you about.
See, the show has started and you're over there watching some comedy stuff.
No, it ain't comedy, honey.
Mm-hmm.
It is not comedy, believe me.
Yeah.
I was going to say it before you got into the Politico.
Say what?
About somebody being at a park with their dog.
Oh. An animal story.
No. The dog was playing and catching a ball.
Yeah.
And this guy came out of nowhere. I think his pants were off and went to rape the dog.
Rape the dog?
Well, he regretted that one. That dog bit his testicle off.
Well, there you go. End of story.
Cut him up pretty bad.
Good. That's
Got
what
that.
he deserves.
Why would you come in the park and rape a dog?
Because you're an idiot. Anybody that thinks they can get away with that
within
is
seconds,
stupid.
the dog grabbed the man's genitals with his teeth.
Good.
And literally tore them apart.
Good.
And this isn't the first time this happened, because I've seen it earlier this month. Another guy did this, and the dog tore his testicles.
Good. That's exactly what
I heard
he
he tore it and spit the ball out.
There you go. Rotten balls.
They said, and this is not the first case. Below, it's a video from last October.
You know, for somebody to do something like that, they either have to be on something.
Oh, you have to see the man.
Oh, nice. Good. That's
But
the
this
position
happened,
he needs to be in.
it keeps happening because I've seen it before, and this is a new one.
What idiot would do something like that?
I wonder what all he took from him. He said tearing up the man's. Well, this one didn't just take the balls. It sounds like he took the whole penis.
Good.
Wouldn't it be
Castrated.
called genitals? How do you
Genitals.
say it? Yeah, it said the man's genitals with its teeth. He took them because he was trying to rape him. They said people were there shocked.
Shocked?
Yeah, because the owner was playing with their dog when this man came out of nowhere and attempted to rape him.
Yeah, well.
The male pit bull violently resisted and severely injured its attacker's legs, arms, and groin. According to the owner, this is the first time that Spanky has ever bitten anyone, and he acted strictly out of self-defense. Yeah.
Absolutely. He deserves what he got.
Yeah, they said he came out of nowhere and grabbed him.
You know, let me see that picture again. He must be one ugly, dysfunctional looking.
Look
fool.
at how he's wrapped up.
If you got to go have sex with a dog, I mean, come on, really? Well, they got him all wrapped up.
Well, there's a horrible man that just did some other stuff. He was raping his stepdaughter and his daughter that was 3 years old. But not only that, he did sexual stuff. Remember I told you about people with chickens?
Mm-hmm.
And he raped his German Shepherd for a long time, was raping him. What do you get out of touching a dog?
Well,
I'll bet he won't be touching a dog again.
now, I assume that's the dog that bit him, right?
Yes.
What kind of dog is that? What is that?
Pit bull.
Pit bull. Now you
Well, it looks like he's pit bull and...
Well, what he looks like he will rip your balls off is what he
Yeah,
looks like.
look how wide his mouth is.
He got exactly what he deserves. He picked on the wrong dog. No, the right dog. Spanky. Spanky spanked them balls.
No, I think he took the whole... I know the other one, he took the ball.
Chris, help me out with
Because they
this
said the guy will still be able to have sex. Because the first guy that I read about recently
He
just
should
has
even
the one
have-
testicle.
First of all, we have to give big ups to Spanky.
Yeah, right?
And
My hero.
Right, all right. He should be our new hero.
Yep.
You do not go after a pit bull at that. You want to rape a pit bull. You can't get a little chihuahua. Okay, if you must deal in bestiality. All right, why get a pit bull unless, hey, I'm going to get that doggy style. What the hell is wrong with people?
He was cruising for a bruising.
Yeah, they say he came out of nowhere and grabbed the dog. But
And now he has one testicle, you said, right?
No, that's the other one. That was from a couple of weeks ago.
That's a different story?
This is another one. Yeah, this keeps happening.
This is like scrambled eggs now.
I read
Good
another
night.
one with a stepfather that was raping I think she was like 9 years old, and his 3-year-old daughter. But they said it wasn't just that. He was doing things to chickens. And I'd seen the chicken laying there with his beak open, so it's obvious he killed the chicken. But he was raping his German Shepherd. I mean, but and the sad thing is he only got 6 years.
No.
Oh, no,
But you know what?
No
when
way.
they're done with him in prison,
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna go up. They're gonna go up real slow inside that dude. I mean,
No, he should never make
He's
it
a
in
no
prison.
good mother clucker. I'm sorry, go rape chickens. I mean, come on now.
Boom, boom.
well, kids, his own 3-year-old daughter that this other guy was. I mean, I just happened to see a bunch of this. I go, what the hell is going on? What was he thinking? A pit bull, you're right. They say the pit bull, I think they said within a matter of seconds, he grabbed the man's oohs with the teeth and literally tore them apart. So he
Good.
took him, he dissected him. Sounds
Good.
like the
Oh,
dog
yeah.
castrated him.
Shredded it.
And
Good.
and they lock on, and their jaws lock.
Yeah, did you
They
see
get to pry them open. We know with a crowbar.
Did you see the picture of the man?
yeah, he's all jacked up. But he got what he deserves.
Yes, he did.
He
Rat bastard.
gets the dumbass award of the week. And Spanky is the hero of the
Yes.
Lee Michaels show. Thank you, Spanky.
Yeah, because he plays in the park. The dog bothers nobody.
Yeah. Wow.
But now
Yeah.
he's going to have this weirdness towards men.
Well, you know,
But the thing is, it looks like a big, thick pamper.
yeah, exactly. If you walk around with your wee-wee out, Spanky ought to rip it off.
No, he didn't just take it out. He tried to rape the dog.
No, that's what I'm saying. You said something about him. He's going to be weird around men. I'm saying
The
if you
dog
walk
is.
around Spanky with your wee-wee out, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. And
Hey, now what we gonna call it? It's gonna be wee wee or hoo hoo or yahoo. What we gonna call it here, man? I got these different
Johnson.
variations for the
Well, I
penis.
was always taught to call it the private area.
Johnson.
the jabbo, right?
No, don't
I
leave
know
Jabbo
what
out of this.
Apollo would call it. He would just be out blunt.
Leave
with
my
it.
Jabbo out of this, okay? Jabbo ain't got nothing to
But
do
see, that's
with dogs.
isn't the first
humping.
one. They literally have a video of another pit bull. What is it with these men with pit bulls? It's like you want to be castrated.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
the
what you
dog
deserve.
looks like he's smiling here.
Yeah, he said, I throw
Look
that
at the
sucker
dog.
up. He sure got a big old smile on his face. Spanky.
Tasty balls.
Send that to me because I want to put the Spanky's picture on our page.
Yeah,
and
put the
share
guy
that
laying next to, because he bit him in the chest too. He nailed this guy.
Good. That's
good.
exactly what he deserves. Yeah, make sure you save that to my page, the Lee Michaels. Boy, oh boy, stupidity is alive and well.
It really is. Because anybody in their right mind, why would you want to touch an animal?
Listen,
I mean, there's a young girl, which they knocked her down on Instagram, and they got her down fast enough, got her side out of there, telling people how she likes to have sex with animals, and she was performing. But they took it out really fast. And pretty young girl, which was sad. I mean, what is wrong with these people?
Well, what kind of animal was the girl having sex with?
Dogs.
Oh, dogs again. Okay, good night.
I know you used to be able to go to Tijuana
Hopping
and they
around.
would put on shows with humans and donkeys. I never went to a show, but I know people have.
You know you went.
No,
there.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to see them do that to an animal.
Yeah, I had some friends in the military. They went down there.
Yeah, they told you, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That was back in the 60s.
I mean,
Going back
geez,
talking
what's
about-
the woman? What's her wrong with this woman?
Yeah, really. Unbelievable. Well, so much for the bestiality. I just
Well, we
can't.
got that out the way.
I can't wrap my brain around it.
Isn't this sad? They want to send Daily Stormer wants to send people to harass at the young woman that was killed by those white supremacists to harass people at the funeral. I mean, I'm reading stories that just they act like it was okay.
Well, they should be arrested.
I mean, look at the one guy saying, and they shut his GoDaddy site down because he's the one. Right? He was saying, "Oh, I feel really bad. That was such a great car that he wrecked. Didn't feel no sympathy for this young lady."
Because they're ignorant. They're just stupid, ignorant people that shouldn't even be let out of the house. They should not have access to the internet, a cell phone. So what am I saying? They should be locked up? Yes, they should be locked up. Taken away from society. I'm not going to suggest we kill them because I try to be nonviolent in that aspect.
I think if they're considered terrorists, they should be in jail.
Absolutely. At the very least.
I mean, one guy said he didn't do nothing wrong, but he can believe what he wants to believe.
Who didn't do anything wrong?
One of the guys that they've named.
Oh,
And then people are mad because they said, why are you letting them go? Well, that's up to the owner. They're considered a terrorist.
yeah.
He has all the right in the world.
What are you eating?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay.
Don't eat a Chick-fil-A. President Dan Curry, we don't like the blacks either. But he's made comments
Wait a minute.
that he hires blacks.
Who are you talking about now?
The guy that is the head of Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A?
Is it Chick-fil-A? Yeah.
Yeah.
Chick-fil.
He's known for that.
Yeah, well, that's they go back a ways with their ignorance.
He don't like gay people.
I don't like Chick-fil-A. It's all right, but it ain't nothing to write home about. You know? That's how I feel about it. I don't go there. I just it's one of those places I don't frequent. I don't support it. It's all right, but it ain't nothing great. I'd rather go to.
Says your camera's not available.
That's okay. How'd you get that?
It's on your page.
All right, I'm trying to bring up Jimmy Fallon here. So hang on for a second here, folks. Yeah. Okay. All right, we got it now. Yeah. Did you hear the little speech from Jimmy Fallon?
His whole show was on it.
Yeah, he denounced Trump's response or lack thereof. Day late, dollar short. And, Jimmy is, he's kind of, I guess you call him a comic or talk show host.
You're a goofball.
Yeah. But he got real serious on this clip, and I'm gonna play it for us.
Well, he told everybody he was going to do that. Another talk show host did it, too.
Yeah? Who else?
I'm trying to think. I was reading it this morning.
There's, 4 CEOs that have walked away from this CEO Council for the president.
Yeah,
Right.
the fourth one, right? Scott Paul, the Alliance for American Manufacturing. He stepped down. He just said it was the right thing to do.
It is. I mean, how can you in good conscience say that I'm going to meet with, be a part of the president's campaign for doing the right thing when you don't feel he's doing the right thing? So, yeah, I'm with that. All right, we're going to play this clip here from Jimmy Fallon, and then we'll come back and chat about it. This is Jimmy Fallon on, I guess it was from last night. Go ahead today. You got to push 2 buttons, not just one. And I only pushed one. So hang on, let me get this straight. Because his message was so heartfelt, sincere, that it's really different for him.
What happened over the weekend in Charlottesville, Virginia was just
like
disgusting. I was watching the news like everyone else, and you're seeing Nazi flags and torches and white supremacists, and I was sick to my stomach. My daughters are in the next room playing, and I'm thinking, how can I explain to them that there's so much hatred in this world? They're 2 years old and 4 years old. They don't know what hate is. They go to the playground and they have friends of all races and backgrounds. They just play and they laugh and they have fun. But as kids grow up, they need people to look up to show them what's right and good. They need parents and teachers, and they need leaders who appeal to the best in us. The fact that it took the president 2 days to come out and clearly denounce racists and white supremacists is shameful. And I think he finally spoke out because people everywhere stood up and said something. It's important for everyone, especially white people in this country, to speak out against this. Ignoring it is just as bad as supporting it. And remember, there are people who have given their lives to make sure this kind of hate doesn't spread. They fought and died on the right side of history. One brave woman in Charlottesville, Heather Heyer, died standing up for what's right at the age of 32. I can't look at my beautiful, growing, curious daughters and say nothing when this kind of thing is happening. We all need to stand against what is wrong, acknowledge that racism exists, and stand up for what is right and civil and kind. And to show the next generation that we haven't forgotten how hard people have fought for human rights. We cannot do this. We can't go backward. We can't go backward. Thank you all for watching and listening. This is The Tonight Show, and we'll be right back.
That's Jimmy Fallon speaking out big time. And I really respect what he did. And you know what? A lot of show hosts and what have you won't come out and make a statement like that because they're afraid of the backlash. And some of the networks won't allow them to do it because they don't want to offend certain advertisers. So I really appreciate, and I think it was the appropriate thing for him to do. And we need more of it. We need to make sure that America is standing up for justice, truth, fairness, balance, and we should not be afraid to take a position. Now, these racists, neo-Nazis, nutball whack jobs, fortunately for them, unfortunate for people who don't believe in the same ideology, have the right to voice their opinion as well. But they don't have the right to kill, injure, and disrupt life for others. So if you want to have a peaceful protest and try to recruit people into your organization, I guess there's nothing we can do to stop that. However, if your organization is deemed as a terrorist organization, then no, you should not be granted the right to go out and recruit publicly or even on the internet for that matter. In my opinion, you need to be shut down. You should be shut down. It should be deemed illegal. How is it that the Klan was able to get away with it because they were infiltrated into the system. Many of the cops, many of the people in government were part of the Klan. So if it goes on today, then what has changed? Has anything changed, really? Yeah, the only thing that's changed is the hood is off, the sheet is gone, the cross burning has almost come to an end, the lynching every now and then, dragging people down behind your worthless pickup truck still goes on. The difference is they now wear suits as opposed to sheets. That's the big difference.
Well, I think he's made them feel like they don't have to hide their faces now. I mean,
Right,
what's
exactly.
that guy, Duke? After Trump spoke, there was something he said after. He couldn't understand why Trump said what he said.
Well, of course, because he didn't echo what he wanted him to say. You know, he wanted Trump to say, yeah, you know, good for us. Well, he couldn't say that. He could have if he's just completely lost all of his damn mind. But he didn't. So he did it in dog whistle language, indirectly saying the same thing. So that kind of stuff is what Trump is doing and getting away with it. Getting away with it. He's still in office. So as long as he's still in office, he's doing stuff like that, he's getting away with it. And that's really unfortunate. That in this day and time, in the United States of America, this kind of behavior exists. And we the people, only us, yellow people, brown people, white people, people who believe in fair, people who believe in peace, people who believe having a job, getting a fair wage, don't believe in discriminating against anyone, gay rights, animal rights, things that make sense, common sense. Those are the people that need to bring about this change. We need to stand up, be united. Don't be afraid. Don't walk the other way. And to this young 32-year-old woman who lost her life by being run over by a freaking maniac, a racist pig, it's wrong. Not in America.
I felt bad when I seen her father on news. But they said she really believed in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she's a good person. She was out there standing up, exercising her right to rebel against these negative-minded people, and she lost her life.
Well, you know
She's
what
a
he
hero.
did? He pulled the car forward first
Yeah, and then backed up.
and hit people and then backed up on people that were trying to run.
Because he's a coward. Anybody that would do something like that is a coward. You're a low-life pig. I respect pigs more than that.
Now, question, you think if let's say you did rape a dog, would he go to jail for this? I mean, it's, to me, there's got to be some kind of law that protects an animal.
That may be governed by the state. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Chris, do you have any information on how that works?
Pop me up.
Go ahead. You're on.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Roger,
okay,
Roger.
good. I was talking. Okay, good. I was talking earlier, but I was off, I guess. There.
Yeah, I had you on.
Okay, good. I could tell, yeah. I think it's a state-by-state situation when it comes to bestiality of animals, of course. And because, like you said, I mean, like you said before, that one case you just talked about, 6 years, that's really kind of low. Usually, from the stories I've read over the time, maybe 10 to 12. seems to be the average, but 6 is kind of low. And then I guess once again you factor in good behavior, could be under 6 if he gets out, earlier than that.
Well, I think that if he gets out in 6 years, it should be mandatory that he has to have a pit bull as a pet.
Give him Sparky or Spanky.
That's right. He has to
Spanky.
Adopt Spanky. Spanky. Spank them balls.
Spank that ball, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick, twisted, and demented. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But some stuff, I'm sorry. Some stuff you deserve, like we just said before.
Yeah.
You go after this pit bull, and you think it's going to be all lovey-dovey and, not going to react and things like that. I mean, come on now.
Nice and gentle.
Right. Oh, you're a gentle Spanky. Let me spank you on this.
No, I think if somebody did that to my female cat, she'd probably claw them to death.
Yeah, well, she should.
Because she doesn't play. Mm-hmm. She likes Lee, though.
Yeah.
Had a little crotch going on in there yesterday.
But how you approach an animal is so important. When I went out to rub her, I gave her the back of my hand, not the forward hand. If an animal that's ever been slapped upside the head and they see the front of your hand coming at them, they're going to react accordingly.
You think someone slapped my cat?
No, I don't think. Probably nothing has ever been done to your cat.
Don't let me find out.
Well, I don't know. Jim might have done something to her.
Yeah, I always wonder with Fat Boy, because Fat Boy don't usually hide, and he's become a different, there's people throw your cats downstairs, but I would be the wrong person to get caught doing that with them.
Jim probably got a pot and pan, a pot and a top. It was banging it together. You see this?
Yeah, well, that's why her jumped him. She
rice
scratched him for
there.
days.
Rice and dog.
He even goes near her. She was like,
really?
Yeah, she hisses at him.
Then something.
They
happened.
seem so much happier.
Yeah.
Because remember, she never came out before. Now she's out, and she's very happy.
Well, that's good. She should be happy in her own little domain, not fearful and hiding up under the bed and stuff like that.
God, what is wrong with people lately? I'm reading the news here.
No more animal stories.
No,
That's
suspect
depressing.
refused to open his bedroom door for his mother, who was trying to talk to him after a fight.
Who is this?
This just happened 1 hour ago. When he finally opened the door, he came out with a knife and stabbed his mother in the stomach. He killed her.
Who did this?
Some young man in his 30s. His mother was, I think, 50-something.
Mm.
Yeah, woman 50. Stabbed his mother to death. God, when you're that angry, don't live at home.
Yep. He should have been put out a long time ago.
I used to do a carpool, and I would drive the kids. And one of the kids I drove, he had some issues. He would draw a picture, say, "Oh, look at my art, Miss Carol," and he'd have his mother's head chopped off.
Oh.
Or he would have pictures with her hanging from a rope, and I go, wow, he's kind of weird. Yes.
See, that's that crazy-ass relative leave somebody just yesterday.
Yeah, those dysfunctional relatives, family members.
This was her son.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I used to drive,
He
and
couldn't get in my car. No damn way.
There's something wrong with this kid.
Hell nope.
But he would. He would show me pictures with her head chopped off and him standing above her, a character of him with the knife he hacked her off with.
He would be in the trunk of the car, and I would take him to a therapist or the police.
Yes.
Couldn't ride in my car. No, hell no.
That's it. Gotta go.
Yeah, and on the way, I'd call the parent and say, hey, look, your son is crazy as hell. He's showing us pictures of you being hung, head cut off. So if you want to see your son again, pick him up at the police department because that's where I'm dropping him off, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
meet
out.
me there.
Yeah.
And
your
isn't
son,
it funny? He
666,
just got
needs
offered
help.
a job with NASA.
He was offered a job.
With NASA. I stay in touch with him on Facebook. He calls me every once in a while.
Yeah, well, they probably...
He's still kind of strange.
Yeah, they want to send him to the moon. That's where he belongs.
Well, if you ever pay attention, a lot of your scientists,
Yeah.
they're either people that are geniuses
Well, close to
which
the
don't
edge.
like being around people, or they're people that are Asperger. They're extremely, it's similar to autistic.
Okay.
But they're people that are very, very, when they get on something, these kids are like geniuses.
Yeah.
The autistic kids and Asperger. They're,
I'm glad she explained to you, because I can see your eyes light up from here, Lee.
Yeah, exactly. Asperger.
well, I might be
Asperger.
saying
Wait
the
a
word
minute.
wrong.
Get that at Fatburger?
No, you're saying it right.
Yeah. You never heard of that, Lee?
Yeah, I have. I'm just making fun.
Yeah, I have a nephew that has that, and he's very smart with science.
Good morning, good afternoon to Chris Squire, the Squire man. What's up? Dave Johnson is in there. Mr. Brown, get down, Mr. Brown. Carlos Phoenix. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know, we got that echo out of there. I had two things playing at the same time. Hey, Shama. Shama. That's my other daughter or niece. Yeah, Chuck Arrington. Oh, he will get his ass in jail, I guess you're trying to say? Yep. Yeah, he needs to go straight to jail. Lisa London is in the house, Donald Grammer, and 5 others, it says. Well, who are the 5 others? I want to acknowledge everybody. Who that? Gave us some
5 others.
5ers. Anyway, welcome to the Lee Michaels Show. We're here Monday through Thursday live on Facebook, The Power of Voices, and Facebook /Lee Michaels, or iRadio Coach, or Radio Dog, DAWG, don't get it twisted. Also on YouTube, and you can listen to our audio right now. If you're having trouble with video, you can go directly to our webpage, thepowerofvoices.com. Click on Listen Now, and you can hear the show. Also, we're live on Periscope. Upscope.
And aren't the
Downscope.
phones working now?
Yeah, the phones. You can call in, 424-227-9461. All you phone heads, there's the number right there on the screen, 424-227-9461. If you want to do the old-fashioned call-in, we can bring you in that way as well. See, Jimmy Fallon came out, spoke up against the inappropriate response from our president. And every now and then I do use the word our.
You probably should say yours,
Your president.
because he's not mine.
Well, I think most people that are listening to the show will say, he's not my president. I didn't vote for him. Didn't want him in.
No, I had a sister getting off the ship today, and she did vote for him.
Well, I'm sorry.
She lives in Mississippi.
Oh, well.
And I said to
she
my
was
other
blinded by the
sisters, you
light.
better warn her. Don't get on that plane talking about how you support Trump. I go, because you might be out that emergency exit.
That's right. Yeah. Crazy things do
I
happen
don't
on
understand
airlines.
it, though, because she's Native American and Jewish.
How long has she been in Mississippi?
Years.
Okay, well, there you go. She's been brainwashed. She's down there with those crazy people in the Deep South that believe one thing and one thing only, white is right. It's unfortunate. Look, Mississippi has been Republican forever. Republican governor, mayors, local city council people, very few Democrats in power in places like Mississippi. Do you know there's still plantations with people living on plantations in Mississippi? They've never been off a
Yeah, very much
plantation.
so. That's right.
In 2017, there are people living in shotgun houses. The shotgun houses, you shoot in the front door and straight out the back. Little huts that are raised off the ground 2.5 feet, where you can your dog can crawl up under there and sleep at night, or alligators. It depends on how close you are to the swamp.
Right.
But yeah, it exists right now. How is that possible in the United States of America that are still people living on plantations, working for the man, day in and day out? Most are black, some are white. Some have never seen a television, don't have cell phones, never been off the plantation. I interviewed a lady that was on a plantation, was a slave until like 1973. I didn't say 1873, 1973.
Oh, man.
Can you believe that? I was 23 years old and there was still people in slavery. Here I am at 67 and there's still people in slavery in this country.
How did the interview go?
It was amazing. I was just sitting there with a dry mouth most of the time because she was telling me stuff that you can't even fathom the idea, the thought that people are being held against their will, still living like slaves in America.
Are they being held against their will, or are they just not realizing what is going on in the real world?
Both. And many of them today have never been exposed to what you and I experience on a daily basis. Don't own a car. Don't own anything. They're just living and working. They're existing. How does that happen? We have a black House of Representatives from the state of Mississippi. Why isn't he doing something?
Well, you know,
about
it's
that?
funny. I go to some clients' houses that are very wealthy, and I get angry on how some of them treat their housekeepers and nannies. And they treat them terrible. They don't treat them the way you should treat a person. It's ridiculous.
It is.
They got to call them Miss Miller, and they have to worry. But just the way they treat them. And one of them had made a comment to me once, because I used to have a nanny because I was on the road. I had to have somebody always there with my kids. And she was at my house and heard calling me, Carol, why do you allow that? I said, why do I allow what? She shouldn't be calling you by your friend. And why isn't she wearing a uniform? I go, because she's my friend. I said, I'm not wearing a uniform. Why should she be wearing one? And it really kind of got me angry, because my philosophy is the only difference between me and somebody that has millions is, well, they're a lot happier than I probably am half the time.
Well, maybe not.
But they have bigger bills than me. They have bigger houses. And most of them that I go to their houses that are filthy rich, do you know their bathrooms are so big, they don't come out of their bathrooms.
What do you mean they don't come out?
They have these huge bathrooms, and
They hang out in the bathroom all the
they
time?
hang out in the bathroom all the time. They don't get dressed. Because one of them gave me a bunch of her stuff she orders from China, these like silk, I call them muumuus. I wear them when I go to bed, but I don't wear them any. But I do see that a lot. I see it more than a lot.
Wow.
Most wealthy women, they stay in their these big, huge bathrooms. And they will tell me they're not happy. I'll go, well, I'll trade places with you for a while. They go,
Right.
why, you think it's that? I said, well, first of all, a man's not going to sit and treat me the way your husband treats you. That's
right.
your money, too. And until you set him straight and remind him that you can leave any time and take half that money, he's going to continue. Because a lot of them are afraid of their husbands.
Well, that's true. And it's unfortunate that they've been beat down psychologically they've lost their self-esteem. And they're probably fearful of a change in the lifestyle, even
But their
though they're not
lifestyle
happy.
wouldn't change because, especially in California,
Well, in most states, actually, it's a 50%
that's
deal.
their money, too.
Yeah.
So you'll leave with half of the money.
Yep.
Don't
That's
sit
true.
and let them run you and tell you what to do. But I see a lot of that with women. They'll let the man pick the furniture, and the man will pick the house they're going to live in. And it's like, well, what is your job? Don't you have any say? Kind of bothers me when I see that. Maybe that's why I'm single.
It's crazy because I'm not a person that dictates like that. There's certain things that I like, but I'm not going to tell you or make all of the decisions about what the house looks like. There are certain styles that I appreciate more than others. I don't like that Trump look, that gaudy, it's just, no. But see, and that is a mindset of some people, that when you have this ornate, gaudy, gold-infused crap, and to me, that's just butt ugly. I'm more modern to, not overly modern, but I like modern certainly more than the Donald Trump style. That would make, I couldn't wake up and look around and see that ugly, disgusting style in my house.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
No. Mm-mm.
It'll be, I don't know how to describe that kind of look.
Yeah. I that's not me personally. But I wouldn't dictate to my wife, and I did not with any of them, what we must have. I even laid out and designed a blueprint. I spent $30-some thousand on blueprints, and the house was 16,000 square feet. And, but we collaborated on it together. I didn't just say, hey, this is the way it's going to be, whether you like it or not. No, that's because we all have to live there. So we all have to be happy. And there were a couple of spots in the house that I had most of the input in on. I wanted a theater room, and my wife at the time was not very technical, so she relied on me to lay that out and what that was supposed to look like and the functionality thereof. Let's see, what else? Maybe the pool area. And then I had a room that was a refrigerated room for like a wine cellar. Would keep your wine at a certain temperature, and I don't drink, but for those who partake, I wanted to make sure I had that,
Yeah, family.
My wine cellar's in my closet. I have 2 bottles.
Wait a minute, does it have piss in it?
No, it's wine. I don't drink either, but when people come, they all bring bottles of wine.
Yeah.
So I just throw it in the closet.
Well, that's cool.
I have to remember that I have to start putting their name on it, so when I come to their house, I don't bring back their bottle.
That's funny. All you have to do is say, you brought that bottle of wine, and I really enjoyed it, and I assume you liked it as well, so I brought you a bottle of it.
And it's the same bottle.
Exactly. Yeah, I know people that do stuff like that, but...
What they call it on Seinfeld.
Or you bring them a gift that they gave you.
Yeah, right. Back at you.
Yeah,
I've done that one.
Have you done that?
Yes.
Oh, Carol, that's
Somebody
bad.
gave me this black blouse. Mm-hmm. And they were over, and I was going through the closet. I go, here, you want this? They go, I gave you that blouse. That was a gift. I said, oh.
Ouch. So that means you never wore it?
No. I didn't
You didn't like it?
No.
Oh. How do you deal with that? I mean, if somebody gives you a gift and you really just don't like it, well, how do you supposed to handle it?
You should actually, if you're going to give somebody a gift, and you should give it to them and say, here, if this isn't what you like, here's the receipt. Go back and exchange it.
Okay.
But when you do, I'm not going to talk to you ever again.
Yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good way to handle
it happens. People, it's very hard to buy another person clothes.
Yeah.
Because they might not wear what you think they should wear.
Yeah.
Like, you're smart how you do a gift. He knows I like to eat at Denny's. So he gave me some gift certificates to Denny's. Perfect gift for me.
Yeah.
And I tell
She's
people
very
that.
practical, and so I had to put on my thinking cap to say, okay, I got to think like Carol. What would she enjoy? But you know what? You always want to try to give them something, maybe a new experience as well. So that
doesn't always work with me. It's better to kind of pay attention to me. Like one day he gave me some little headphones, which someone stole from me. It's gifts like that. Like I know he likes tech stuff.
Yeah. I'm a gadget
So
guy.
he'd be the perfect person to buy a new gadget for.
Yeah.
You can't
I'm
buy
a
him
gadget guy.
clothes.
No, I don't care about clothes. I wish everybody was naked.
No, one day I was going to wear one of your shirts. You told me
No, I don't wish that.
I was going to put one of your shirts on
What shirt was that?
in your closet. You told
Oh.
me I could wear one of your shirts.
Oh, yeah, you were over at the house.
And
one
I
day.
was told, well, you can't wear his shirt. And I said, well, he gave it to me. Well,
Yeah,
you
I
can't
give a
wear
damn.
that. Here, I'll give you something to wear.
Yeah,
I
well,
thought,
you know.
damn, is this his wife? And he didn't tell me.
No. Absolutely not.
I don't think
Who
that
was that, Lee? Who
I'm
was
not
Cher?
gonna
Who was
say
that,
who
Lee?
it
Yeah,
You
was.
Jabbo or what?
No Jabbo involved. No Jabbo.
They just
But
said
yeah,
I
some
couldn't.
people are real possessive like that. I'm not. I don't give
The
it.
territorial.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't have that kind of ego. You know, I want people to be comfortable, especially, you know, if it's my house, I want you to come in and feel comfortable. I don't want you to feel like, oh God, you know, the only thing that I used to kind of demand or expect people is to take your shoes off.
I do that, but lately I haven't been doing it as much.
Yeah.
I usually always ask people to take their shoes off.
You know, because
Do you
know,
have like odor eaters or some foot spray at the door or something like that for certain people?
no, I didn't do that.
Probably
Okay,
those
'cause some of
ones.
these
He
people, they
tells them
don't-
to put them back on.
But I did have a little.
Yeah, put them back on or something. It's functified sometimes, man.
You keep the air freshener
What makes
going.
people
You know?
get that stinky feet?
Well, some people have
Let's see.
sweaty
Fungus.
feet.
Don't wash. Yeah.
Yep. You know, some people have sweaty feet and
Fungi.
fungi. Is it funky? But I used to have
The
a
fungus is among us.
little basket with little footies, you know, socks and stuff for people who don't want to walk around barefoot. Which
Yeah, that's
you know,
cool.
that's cool. And then at one time I used to have some like little house slippers that you could put on if you wish,
Okay.
but it wasn't a demand, you know. But
Well, I
just-
used to demand people take their shoes
But
off.
I had hardwood floors, and you know, I had a party one time. It was kind of a housewarming party, where I was living up in northern Marin County in Novato. For those who know the landscape of California, little bedroom community in northern Marin County, just before you go into was that Petaluma, was that Sonoma County, and. We invited a bunch of people, and invariably there are people that come to a party that you don't know because they come with someone else. Well, this kind of large, heavy-set woman came, and she had on some, what do you call them, the high-heel shoes? And the little rubber piece on the bottom of the heel was worn off. So she was walking around like with cleats on, metal cleats, and she destroyed my hardwood floors. Everywhere that she went,
Oh, no.
there were the little impressions into the hardwood. And I went, oh, my God. Do I tell her to get the hell out of my house with the baseball
Hell yeah.
cleats on? So I went to the person that she came with, and I said, can you tell her, please, to take off her shoes? She has destroyed my floors. And they looked down and went, oh, my God.
Oh, did she have those spikes?
Yeah, she had high heels
Yeah.
on, and the rubber piece was worn off. So it was metal going into my hardwood floors. It cost me $3,000 to have my floors sanded down and resurfaced.
Ooh-wee.
Well, you know why I ask people to take them off? Because I have pets that don't go outside. And people carry more germs on their feet than
Yeah.
anywhere. And, you
Oh,
know,
my.
even a
Sure.
vet will tell you that if your pets don't go outside, have people remove their shoes because they can carry in germs. My cats don't have the immune system that the cats outside would have.
I never thought about it that way, but that makes sense. But, you know, it's just the collection of crap on the bottom of your shoes, mud and sand, and, you know, it will destroy your floors and your carpet if you
absolutely.
don't have hardwood floors. It means you got to, clean your
I
carpet
have
more
people,
often.
they just won't take their shoes off. They refuse to.
Well, they can stand outside. We'll do
Damn straight.
window service to them.
But I've decided I was going to go to the dollar store and find a bunch of those thongs, those sandal things
Yeah,
for $1
yeah,
and get all different sizes because it is getting to be too much.
yeah. I ain't wearing no
honestly-
thong. I'm
no,
not
no,
going to
no.
do that. No. Thongs.
No.
I don't mean that kind of thong. I mean those
Thong,
things
thong,
you put
thong,
your
thong.
toe through.
Be playing the thong song coming in.
Right.
What's up, John Lewis? Uh-oh. Laura Rice is in the house, so we can stop talking about her.
What was going on, Chris, with
We
Laura
continue
the other
on.
day that you had somebody defending you, but I guess they don't know that you and Laura just tease each other.
No, you're right. I always have fun with Laura, and
Yeah,
we
but
all
this
know that.
person
And-
didn't know that.
No, I know that. That's the
I
great
started
thing
to
about
come
radio.
in and tell her, back off of Laura.
Oh no. You notice I cleaned up at the end. I did it. Let everybody know that. That's how we go back and forth, and that way people won't take it too seriously. But the thing about Laura is that at times Laura can be almost high and mighty, which she is.
Oh Lord, there you go. Now you're gonna pick a
No,
fight.
really. I'm not picking a fight. This is the same thing I
She
said
didn't do
yesterday.
nothing wrong, though.
No, well, okay. I've known her longer, so let me finish my spiel. So the thing about it is, the thing about Laura is that at times she can become very high and mighty.
Uh-huh.
So you let her know that you're just as normal as the rest of us human beings. And every now and again, I have to go there. But other than that, we're great people.
Yeah,
I mean, it is
slap
what
her
it is.
around a little bit, huh?
Well, I wouldn't use the word slapping around, but
But
I'm just
okay,
saying.
would you say that you love Laura?
As a friend, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, people.
I thought
What's
it was going to
up?
be Laura.
No, that's little Frank.
That
I
would be
started
interesting.
going and say, leave Laura alone.
I should have just said, hey, I'm Laura.
Who do we have on the noisy line here? I forgot about that one.
On the what?
The noisy line.
Oh, that's me. That's probably me.
Yeah, that's you. Who is that?
Ron Ellison.
What's up, Ron? How you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, Lee Michaels. I'm fine. How you doing today?
I'm doing just fantastic.
I'm happy. Let me ask you this, Lee Michaels.
Go ahead, sir.
Is Trump kicking up some dust or what?
He's on crack, man. He's a crackhead. That's your boy. You voted for him.
No, I've made a few mistakes in my life, but nothing like that.
That's too funny.
Oh, man, all them people are quitting their jobs and stuff.
I know.
No, they're getting fired.
Well, both. There people walking out and people getting fired. But
Right.
I wouldn't even consider, if he paid me $500,000 a year to do anything, I wouldn't take it.
I don't know, Lee. One thing is for sure. You certainly get some publicity out of it.
Exactly. You get another job that you wouldn't mind taking after that, right?
Yeah.
They say, yeah, I respect that Lee Michaels guy. He walked away from $500,000, to be the PR guy for Trump. And, he must be a stand-up kind of guy.
Oh, boy, he is a piece of work.
Oh, my Lord.
But at
Unbelievable.
the end, I don't think he cares that much because he's already rich.
Yep.
You
Well,
know?
he's a lot richer today than what he was a year ago
I'm sure he is.
because of the deals he's been cutting.
Yeah.
That's going to benefit him and his family and the rest of the crooks that he hangs out with. That's for sure.
Well, that's who got him into office, is all those crooks. I mean, I swear to God. I still believe to this day, Lee, that it was bought. It was bought. And the Republicans should feel sorry for themselves and ashamed of themselves. Look what they've done.
Well, it's no question. There was a lot of money involved in this,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of underhanded stuff, and I just hope and pray that this investigation goes on because I believe we're going to find out that not only was he doing some really nasty, mean-spirited campaigning, but there were some other things that we could not see that was going on that in a form of corruption and tampering with the voting. And I think that's really the really bottom line in all of this, the tampering.
Absolutely. Yeah, where'd all that money that Putin gave him, where'd that go?
Yeah.
Come on, tell me.
I'm going to tell y'all something, though. There's another element that I've been watching over the last couple of weeks. And yesterday, I was watching one of the TV stations, and they showed the United States in the blue and the red. And
Right.
all the states that came out red that are normally blue,
Mhm.
which is what flipped the whole thing.
That's right.
What it tells me is this country is divided, and it's going to be divided for the next 100 years because the people who came out, who went crazy on Saturday, and now it's going all across the country, you got two kinds of people here. You got people who think that the Confederate is the United States, and then you got people who think that the United States is the United States. It's a trip, and when you look at it, this has been bubbling under for years.
You're right. And when Trump was out there campaigning for 2 years, he woke up the living dead. He woke up those people who felt like, well, it don't matter, I'm not going to vote, and they did not vote for many, many years. Some of those guys came out, and those are the racist, crazy people that we saw in Charlottesville.
You're right.
Now, that's one thing, but I don't think it's enough of them to have turned that election to the way the outcome came out. Okay, here's why I say that. Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Virginia. Well, Virginia did stay blue, and Florida. Now, Florida flips back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida, Hillary Clinton should have won. She should have won North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, without a doubt, and Pennsylvania.
And Ohio, too.
And Ohio. I'll give him Ohio, because there's some weird, old crazy redneck people up in Ohio and places West Virginia.
Once you get out of Cleveland, it gets kind of red.
Yeah. Exactly. Cleveland, Columbus, and places and Cincinnati. Outside of that, it's pretty rural.
Right.
I'll keep it clean.
Okay.
So those states were not supposed to go that way. Now, some people say, well, she didn't do enough campaigning in those states. She didn't have to.
Well,
she didn't have to, because the base was strong enough. So what happened was the voting rolls were cleaned out, scaled down, people taken off of the voting roll in those states. 21 states all did the same thing.
Right.
That's what changed the outcome of this election.
And the other part of that, there's another part of this that I saw, and that is, and this is a deficit, but a lot of 46% of the African American registered voters did not vote. They didn't vote for Trump, but they didn't vote for Hillary either. And that you got.
Well, so that's a factor, absolutely.
Yeah. So the Democrats now have got to get out in the streets and get the vote up, because what happened is, you're looking at people like you just mentioned, those places, them people said, wait a minute, we just had 8 years of a nigga, now we're going to have a bitch up in there. Them white folks were jumping out of trees going to vote.
You really think that was a major factor? That they just could not see a woman as the president of the United States?
I do.
I swear to God, especially right behind a nigga. Lee Michaels. Prejudice and racism is not over in this country by a long shot.
Well, we just saw that this past weekend.
Right.
Yeah. I see. I guess I'm just so open-minded and thinking that the world has come a lot further than it has.
No.
Well, we got more work to do, Ron.
Right, let me tell you this. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, but I've got to give you this experience, Lee Michaels.
Go ahead.
And the lady that you're talking to. This is something I saw with my own eyes. There's a town called Solvang, California, which is not too far from where Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch was.
Okay.
Well, there's an airport up there that my friend and I, this is about 5-6 years ago. A friend of mine, a black guy, we got in an airplane and we flew up there on Sunday morning and went there for brunch. Now, a lot of people around there, they come to Solvang on Sunday morning for breakfast brunch, and so the population is there pretty good.
I love Solvang.
Huh?
I said I really like Solvang.
It's a beautiful place, no question. But my experience this time was, I'm walking down the street with my buddy, and him and I on our way to this restaurant to have brunch. Now, what's coming in front of us was a lady with 2 kids, and there are other people around. And the little boy looked like he about 7 years old, and the little girl looked like she about 4 years old. And the boy looked and he saw us, and he said, "Mama, Mama," and grabbed his little sister. "Let's get out of here. Here come some niggers." And he pulled his little sister into the store. And the mama was standing there with her mouth open like, "Oh, my God, what is this?" And everybody looking right. So my friend and I, we didn't say nothing. We just kept on walking. That experience to me said, wait a minute, here's a kid doing this at 7 years old. He didn't think of this. Somebody taught him this.
Absolutely. He's heard it out of mom and dad's and whatever environment he's been in.
Wow, and I find that very unusual for Solvang.
You do?
Yeah, because I used to, when I'd go up to Michael Jackson's ranch all the time because I worked for him.
Okay.
He hired those people. He gave so many people jobs, and
I understand that.
I never seen anything
Well, maybe
like
they
that.
were
Like
from-
Oprah Winfrey bought a place up by there.
Right. No, ma'am. I'm not saying what I'm saying.
I'm just saying maybe this kid didn't even live there. They were just visiting because
That's a possibility.
I find that very unusual for there.
Well, okay.
But he shouldn't. I agree. He shouldn't talk like that because I have a relative that came from down south when he was little, and my son is little of everything: Asian, Black, Native American, Jewish. And when they had to get on rides, we had met them in up north, and her kid's straight from down south, and I said the same thing like you said. He looked at my son, he said, "I'm not getting on that ride with that," and he said the N-word. And his mother didn't stop him, and I thought, now you're my sister, and you're allowing this little asshole to talk like this?
Well, the little asshole was taught that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. What you think he gonna be like when he's 21? You know?
Be a skinhead.
That's what I'm talking
He's not a
about.
skinhead, but he's weird.
But he's well on
Very
that path, you know?
But it's not
'Cause-
his fault.
Right.
He's 7 years old. It's not his fault.
That's right. That's why I blame the parents
No,
first.
they hear parents say that.
Of course. And they're sitting there at the dinner table, and that open discussion is going down, and yeah, that's where it comes from.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was shocked that my own, well, she's my half-sister, even though we had the same mother, but a lot of times when they introduce us, my one sister, she'll introduce us like this: "Oh, my father married their mother." And it's like, well, don't we have the same mother?
Yeah.
And I have to laugh because I'm not being conceited, but my side of the family, I think we're better looking.
Y'all got issues.
Yeah, no, I don't think we have issues because we don't trip like that. I have a sister that's a really big bigot.
Well,
I don't even talk to her.
that's unfortunate.
How could you be born in a family and, as she said it, her father married our mother, but our father wasn't white. My father was Native American, but we are brother and sisters, and I could never figure out why does she trip like that.
Your father was what, ma'am?
My father is Native American.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So, well, we were treated really bad. I mean, we still get excluded. I've watched a lot of stuff lately going down, and they'll say, yeah, this is terrible, that they talked against Jewish people, blacks, Hispanics, gay, but nobody mentioned Native Americans. I go, we really are a forgotten race for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they came to mess with the pipeline, they didn't hesitate to take my people and hit them with tear gas and have guns and bring in tanks. Why didn't they? And they did the same thing with Black Lives Matter, with the Ferguson. They brought in all this. Why didn't they do that with these guys the other day? I couldn't understand that. And why were they in uniforms? Some of them had on hats that certain special forces wear.
Yeah.
That were these Nazi-type people carrying guns. And somebody questioned them and said, well, why do you have these guns with you? In case we have to help the police. Duh. So what? Do you think you can just start shooting people that are against your racist asses?
Yeah. Well,
It
the whole
makes me
thing
sick.
about that, when you look at this whole country, this is a mixture of a bunch of cultures. And people come from different walks of life. Their backgrounds are different. And just that alone is a big mixture. I will never forget this. I don't want to keep you too long, but I went to France. The first time I went to France, I stayed in this hotel that was off the main drag. So when I went, I came downstairs one morning, and I said to the lady behind the desk, I said, "Ma'am, to the hood." And she said, "You want to go where?" I said, "To the hood." She said, "I don't understand." I said, "No, I want to neighborhood." And the lady said, "You're from America, aren't you?"
Of course.
I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." She said, "Well, we don't have a hood here. We have nothing but French people here."
Thank you. I just told a friend of mine that yesterday. She said, "It's like," I said, "No, go to France, honey. Go to Cuba. Everybody's Cuban.
Right.
You're not called white or Mexican or they're black. You're Cuban."
Right.
And French, but then French really don't like us Americans a lot. I noticed when I've had to go there, I have to pretend I'm from Canada.
No, they don't like America.
No, they
you
don't.
Are right.
You're right. They don't have.
Well, why is it they don't like
barriers.
Americans in France? Because I've heard that often as well.
I don't know. I just always say I'm from Canada.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't, but I experienced it, and I've talked to a lot of people that say that. That say that the French people don't like America, and I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a melting pot, you know?
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, France has been France for 15,000 years.
Yeah.
And so that's the way they think. They don't think unless... I'm telling you what that lady told me. She said, "We got light-skinned, medium, and dark-skinned French people. The only difference we got in here is up in the Riviera when the people got a whole lot of money and the other people don't have a lot of money.
Right.
That's the only separation we have here."
Interesting.
That's what she said.
I
So
can
it's
answer
class
that
separation.
question for you.
Go ahead,
I can
Frankie.
answer the question for you.
Go ahead.
I'm Brazilian, Jewish, and Japanese, so I have the whole gamut. I have the Holocaust and World War I and II and Pearl Harbor in my family. I don't feel sorry for nobody. I accept everybody. But when my mother and I went to Europe, we were treated with love and kindness. Everybody loved us. Everybody thought I was from Greece because of my dark hair and brown eyes and tan skin. My mom's Japanese, and they just loved her. And we did ask, actually, I think it was me or my mother, we asked, "Why don't you like the Americans?" And you know what the answer that we got was, "Stupido." They think Americans are stupid. So I was like, wow.
They
I
think
don't know
Americans
why they
are
think
stupid.
stupid. Yes.
Interesting.
And I was like, wow, that's wow. But, you know, we didn't get into a long, drawn-out conversation about it, but we just wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
But, and it's sad because each culture is taught something from the get-go. Each culture has, but not me. I was never, ever, ever taught to hate. But I was never like that. My dad called me the little ambassador. When I was little, I went around and said hello to everybody. I don't care the color of your skin. I care about the kind of human being you are. I don't give a rat's ass what color you are. I don't give a rat's ass what sexual orientation you are. I give a rat's ass on how you treat another human being.
Absolutely.
That's what I give a rat's ass.
You're a sweetie.
What?
You're a sweetie.
Oh,
You're
thank
an
you.
image.
Yeah. Now, Ron, you mentioned something a little while ago. You said France has been around for 15,000 years. 15,000 years from now, what do you think America is going to look like? Because we're still a relatively young country.
We are. We're less than 400 years old.
Right.
I think it's going to. I think it's going to build, and I really, when you look at all the different cultures that are here, it's going to take some time for it to melt and everybody be one American. I just don't see that happening. If it ain't happening, hey, you got to remember, 267 years we had slavery. They brought 160 million slaves in here, and then they killed 75 million Native Americans and put 5 million in jail and call them reservations. And all of that kind of activity over time, I just don't think you're going to bury it and walk away from it.
Yeah.
going to keep coming back.
Yeah, it's too big of a crime to forget about.
Right.
And, history travels forward.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't get just left behind because that's what happened yesterday. I mean, look at the Holocaust. The Jewish community will never let that go.
No.
Nor should they.
Not right.
And African Americans or Africans or black folks, whatever we want to be referred to as, should never forget about the fact that the way we were treated. And the American Indians, the Native Americans.
Yes.
It was just worse than anything that I can imagine what they went through.
I understand. And all of this stuff happened over a short period of time, and that's what made it so dynamic. And not just Native Americans and Africans, but I'm from Chicago, man, and I watched how those people treated the Polish people over there in the Polish neighborhood.
That's true. Like second-class citizens.
And man, I'm telling you, so all of these different cultures coming together, squeezing up on each other. And you asked the question, I think it's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
Well, when they say that Trump was going to make America great again, like white America, I don't quite understand that because they weren't the first people here. So if they want something great again, why don't they go back to where their ancestors were born?
Wow, that is so deep.
Go back to where your ancestors were born because this wasn't your country.
Yeah. At what point was America great in those people who bought into that mindset? Give me that time frame. Was it 1942? Was it 1900? Was it 1950, 65, 68, 72? I mean, when was America great in your mind?
Wow, that's deep. That is really deep. Yeah.
So there's a lot of dog whistle messages in what Trump campaigned on. Nobody could hear it but those dogs that he was trying to pander to.
You're right.
We're going to make America great again. So that woke up the living dead, the Nazi, the nasty, mean-spirited people say, yeah, you're right, when we were in control. So let me explain something. It's real simple. And some people are going to say, well, Lee, you being too black. No, I'm being right. I'm being correct. The reality is all of those crazy people that are up there in Charlottesville are insecure white people.
No question.
They have lost control. They don't see the future that they can control from power and money. Most of them will never have access to money because they're poor white people.
They're right.
And they're in no better condition than a poor black person or poor Latino or poor Chinese, Jew, or anybody else for that matter.
You're right.
But once upon a time, even the poor white man had power over other people. And he has lost that. And there's no bright future for that mindset moving forward. That's why they're losing their damn minds.
You are right. It ain't coming back. People are not going to accept it.
No.
So it's like what you got here. You got poor, you got lower middle class, upper middle class, and then the wealthy. And really, the poor people are poor not because of what color they are. It's because how they think.
Right.
They think poor. They live their whole lives and never get out of poor because they don't know how.
That's true.
And then they want to blame other people for it, and that's where this fighting comes from, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
I see. Now I'll tell you another thing I saw Trump do that ain't nobody paying attention to. Before Trump started running for president, he put the president on Front Street and made him come up with his birth certificate. And at first, the president was like, forget that. But he put so much pressure on him that he had to go get his birth certificate, put it on the internet, and then put the birth certificate on the TV.
And he still didn't accept it. He still had doubts about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no matter what President Barack Obama did, it wasn't good enough for this jackass.
That's what I'm talking
And that's what pissed him off when they had the correspondence dinner, and Obama slapped him all upside the head and made him look like Boo-Boo the fool that he is.
Yeah.
That's what pissed this clown off and made him step out there to run for the presidency.
Yeah.
If nothing else but to destroy the credibility of the White House.
Oh, man.
And that's exactly what he's doing. He is nothing more than a thug, a little geek.
Yeah.
That and he was allowed to get away with in New York City the egregious things that he pulled off, and being a discriminatory homeowner, apartment manager, and discriminating against people. Him and his low-life racist daddy both got in trouble for doing that. I saw a piece just yesterday, and I don't like to talk about things that I can't really verify, but there's a picture, a black and white picture, that stated that this scene where the police officers were arresting some Klansmen, and allegedly Trump's daddy was a part of that arrest.
Wow.
Nothing would surprise me at this point.
Okay, I understand.
You see what I'm saying? And the apples don't fall far from the tree. Isn't it interesting that his daughter came out and made a statement that was more powerful than her daddy, who happens to be the president, as it relates to denouncing these racist-ass people? Okay? Now, is she part Jewish as well? Was her mother a Jew?
Wasn't she from Poland or somewhere?
Well, you got Polish Jews, you got German Jews, so it could be. And she's married to a guy who happens to be Jewish.
She's married to a Jewish guy.
Polish Jew.
Polish
Like
Jew?
my dad.
Okay.
Polish Jew, just like my
I
dad.
would think she would have to be Jewish now, too, to have married him.
Well, she could. It may not be. I don't know.
Well, usually to marry into a Jewish family that prominent, I would think that she would have had to.
Yeah, well, it depends on how orthodox they are, I guess.
But unfortunately, you guys have answered that question that you were saying earlier about what's the United States going to be thousands of years later or hundreds of years later. And unfortunately, the answer is it's still going to be the same.
You don't think we'll ever outgrow the racist prejudice?
No, they will not.
I agree with that lady, because I'm going to tell you something. How do you forget killing 75 million people and putting 5 million in jail? How do you forget enslaving 160 million? And what they're fighting over is they're trying to keep the reputation of the Confederate alive with the statues and stuff. So that they don't want to honor the United States and the flag with the whole New Deal here.
Right.
They want to keep the Confederate deal alive. Well, that's deep embedded, planted in these people's lives, not just their minds, in their lives. And I don't think they're going to turn around over the next 50 years. And 50 years ain't that long,
True. That is true.
So it's something we're going to have to deal with here, and there's nothing good about it, but...
Well, the only thing we can do is to teach our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren to be good citizens, to be honest, open, forgiving, loving, caring Americans.
I agree. Because, you know what? Let me say this right quick, because this really tripped me out when I learned it. I started to study the universe when I became a pilot, and now I got to fly in the weather, so I had to learn about the weather. We, as human beings, live in the troposphere. We all breathe the elements of the troposphere, the oxygen, the atoms, and all of the stuff that this is made of. Now, at the equator, at 70,000 feet, there is temperature inversion. They call it the tropopause. The tropopause is 6,000 feet thick, and the average temperature is 385 degrees. Now, it won't let nothing in, and it won't let nothing out. The rocket ships can go through, but they got to have some heavy power coming through there. And when they come back, and I don't know if you remember, about 15 years ago, one of them, the bottom of the plane wasn't right, and it burnt up coming through there.
Yeah.
That it protects us That's the environment we live in. Well, if you're Chinese, if you're African, if you're Russian, if you're whatever, American, we're all breathing the same air.
True.
You know? So so we all live in the same and resources that we all have to live by.
That's right.
So the difference in us ain't really that much.
It isn't.
You know what I mean?
We all need that same fresh air, water,
yes,
food and nourishment.
Yes.
That's it.
And vegetables and all of that. Huh?
We all bleed the same.
Right. Right. So we're all the same whether we like it or not. So this stuff that we're going through is in our heads.
It is.
You think about it, Lee. 150 years ago, if you were going to leave America and go to China, it took you 8-9 months to get there.
That's right.
Now you can get there in 9 hours.
Big difference.
It's a big difference. So,
huge.
Yeah, so as we keep going, I hope to God that what you mentioned earlier, are we going to get better than this? I hope to God we do. But it's going to take us a little while.
Yeah, but the key to it is, in reality, out of the 330-plus million people in the United States of America, how many of them are already in the right position that is willing to tote that message, carry that message forward to bring peace and harmony and togetherness in this country?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the majority of the 330-plus million people are already there, then we're going to win. But if there's a bunch of closet-hating type people in the 330, if it's still 50% in the closet that are pure redneck haters, then we got a long way to go.
Well, you do have a long way to go, and let me tell you why. You just mentioned something there that spurred my mind. And I don't know whether people pay attention to this or not, but I've watched over the last 30 years. Just think about this. I fly across the country and go in these different towns, and every town I go in, I see Walmart, I see Rite Aid, I see Home Depot,
Mm-hmm.
Lowe's. In these towns around here. These big businesses have taken over and run all them small businesses out of business.
Right.
So consequently, what's happening here? There's another element that we don't look at, and it's the rich against the poor or the middle class. Their goal is to keep us poor, so that we work for them for the price they want us to work for them for. You know, and I see it going on all across the country, and it's basically the rich guys, man, Trump and his buddies up there, the insurance companies, the bankers. You see how many people lost their houses in the last year of George Bush's presidency?
Yeah.
Over
catastrophic.
Yes.
Across the country. Some states worse than others.
Exactly. So they want to keep, I think, this is what I think, the hierarchy want to keep this confusion going on so that our minds is on each other instead of on them.
Yeah.
You know?
You think we're going to go to war with North Korea?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm going to tell you why I don't. That's a hell of a question you just asked.
Well, he came on this morning, though, the little miniature Trump with the Asian eyes. He doesn't want to go to war.
Yeah.
It's Trump.
I've been saying that from day one.
Because he stands to lose too much.
Damn right.
Right.
His whole country would be wiped out.
All nuclear weapons need to be replaced. And South Korea, I think, has made an agreement with North Korea. Basically, they won't let us fight out of there.
Exactly.
So
ma'am,
there's no way.
You are so right. And there's another element that we don't see either. And China, they got 1.4 billion people. North Korea has 30 million. Well, China is backing North Korea.
Right.
It would not be a smart thing for us to do to go over there and start a war with those people. That's one thing. The other thing is, watch this. Here's a guy runs for president, and he says, I'm going to bring jobs back to the people. Everybody's going to be working, and it's going to be a great America. We're going to put a wall up and keep them Mexicans out of here, and we're going to run all the Muslims out of here, and then we're going to have health care for everybody. We're going to kill Obamacare and whatever. He ain't done none of that.
That's
and
right.
now on TV, first of all, it was Russia. Now it's North Korea. They're just trying to keep our minds.
That's right. Distractions all over the place.
That's what it is. It's distractions all over the place. But
Yep.
these people ain't crazy. They ain't going over there with these. See, back in the day, ladies and Lee, back in the day in 1944, we were the only ones with nuclear weapons. We went over there and dropped them. The only country in 180 countries on Earth has ever used those kind of weapons is America.
Right.
But now Russia got them. North Korea got them. China got them. You don't want all that stuff shooting around here, man.
Yep.
Ain't none of us going to be here.
That's true. It'll be the end of the earth.
Well, that's what China said. Nobody will win this war.
And not only that, I said it from day one that, okay, here's North Korea saying that they got it. I don't believe they got it.
Okay.
Okay, number one. Number two, they
I don't
know
think
they...
I want to find out if they
Well,
do.
but you know what? You're right. I don't either. But this guy is a bully. He's a bluffer. He's playing chess. Okay, he's gonna try to see. And I said it yesterday. What is it that they want? They want and need something.
Who?
Okay, so that's what you go in and you sit down and talk about first. And you say, okay, listen, what is it you want? Why are you over here acting a damn fool? What do you want the world to do for you? Is there something that you need?
Who are you asking this? Who?
Kim Jong-un.
No, man. You know what? Kim Jong-un was being cool. Wasn't no problem at all. Him and Dennis Rodman hanging out. Brothers eating donuts and shit.
Well,
And now
Dennis
all of
got
a
his
sudden-
ass out of there real fast, though,
Now,
recently.
He ain't the dumbest
Trump.
guy.
I'm telling you, man, Trump is kicking up dust. He's trying to keep our attention
Oh,
on
no
something.
question. No question. Absolutely, this is nothing but a distraction.
That's what it
And, you know, this guy, while his country is poor, they've got issues, he's happy because he's in power. He's in
Yeah.
control. He ain't suffering for shit, okay?
No,
He's
no.
getting everything that he needs and wants.
Right.
He don't want to fight the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world,
No, I wouldn't either. and I
because
don't
he
think
knows that'll be
does.
the end of him and his regime.
Yeah. But
He can't win that war.
I don't think he is the initiator of this. I think Trump is.
Oh, no question. I mean, they're
Trump
sparring
needs
with
to-
each other.
No, Trump needs to have something on TV to keep us occupied so we can keep our minds off of the real thing. Jobs, money for the middle-class people. The middle-class people, you just said 330 million people here. The middle class is shrinking, buddy.
No doubt.
It's shrinking. 'cause
Listen, he's talking about bringing jobs back. Well,
Yeah.
bring back the jobs that you have in foreign countries first.
Right.
Bring those back. Let me see how that works.
Right.
Let me see what that looks like.
Let's put
Then you
that
got
on-
this council of other CEOs that are walking out. What is 4 of them have walked out of his little council already?
Because they know he's BS, man.
Absolutely. They bought into the okey-doke, hoping that something would come out of good for them. And I got to call it the way it is. That's the only reason they went in.
Exactly.
Because they saw an opportunity to maybe get some legislation pushed through that would help their companies.
Of course. Of course. And
Okay,
I
so
don't blame them.
let's not be stupid about this. Let's understand how this works.
I don't blame them, though.
No, I don't. But at the end of the day, you got to lead through what you do. And this guy, Donald Trump, has done nothing as it relates to delivering the promise that he ran on.
Right. Now, you know what? When you think about these guys that left there yesterday, whenever they left there, look at this, man. For a man, a person, a woman, to work hard and come through life and build yourself to the point where you're a CEO of a company that is functioning and hiring people, and people are working there and stuff. And now you done went all this far and got all this big, and now you're going to be up here with this idiot and poison your reputation. Them people are quitting. They say, oh, no, I don't want to be a part of this.
Exactly. Now, listen, I'm not a big fan of the big pharmaceuticals, and Merck is a pharmaceutical company.
Okay.
Happens to be, the CEO happens to be a man of
African
color.
American.
Right. So I hold them on the same level I hold everybody else. lower your prices. Stop putting these junk drugs out here that just barely keep people alive, and you make us pay $500, $600, $700 a month just to use your drugs.
Absolutely.
Bring those prices down. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, if you're going to be helping people, come up with some medications that will cure versus just keeping people alive, so you can keep that $500 a month coming in from 50 million people.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, that's what that should be all about. But are they going to do the right thing?
No.
Will they put in research dollars to find a cure for all types of cancer?
No. They want the money, man.
Why is it that chemotherapy is the only medication prescribed by doctors that they get a kickback on?
Because the doctors are taught that from the time they go to medical school.
Exactly.
And that is already programmed for them. And when you look
it's another source of income.
Right. And what you're saying is, I see also the Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
Obamacare is in its concept is a beautiful thing for people, but these guys have jerked it up so much that they got some people paying $700-800 a month.
Yeah.
For health care.
It was all by design. Okay, first of all, the Republicans never wanted it to go through because Obama came up with the idea.
Right.
Okay, so they didn't support it.
Mm-hmm.
But they wrote in the ticking time bomb that after the first 2 years, the insurance companies would have the ability to raise the rates.
Mm-hmm.
So all the insurance companies had to do was be cool for 2 years, make them extra money that they made, because there was 15, 20 million people on the rolls that weren't there before. So they made money off the people for the first 2 years. Then they jacked it up because they really wanted this to go away. Right. They wanted to have a free market so they could have the prices the way they had them
so they can
before Obamacare. So they could charge people ridiculous prices. So then they said, okay, well, after the 2 years, we can raise the rates to whatever we want. We can kill Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
Because people won't be able to afford it, and we can blame that on Obama.
On Obama, absolutely.
Well, it didn't quite work out that way.
Right.
Then these jackasses that didn't want it to go through, meaning the Republican House and Senate folks that were voted in by the poor people, didn't come up with a better solution.
No.
All they had to do, they didn't have to delete it and start over, fix the broken parts. But they can't do that. They will not do it because they're being held hostage by the pharmaceuticals and the insurance companies.
They're standing in, you just said the magic word, they're standing in the hall. And when you look on one side, over in this big room over here, you got them people who have paid you all this money.
Exactly.
And got you all set up. Now you will look over here on the other side, and you open up that door, and you got all these people who need what they need, and they voting for you, and they're going to vote your ass out.
Right.
So now they're in the middle.
They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, but they put themselves in there. So I say vote them all out. Get rid of, delete all of these jackasses, and start over. In fact, Ron Ellison for the Senate from the United States for California. Now, there you go, damn it. And Frankie, you can be a House of Representative because you at least understand the wrong, and I think that you'll go in there and do the right thing, at least for 2 years.
Yeah.
Damn right. Damn right.
At least 2 years. But see, these guys get in there and they get greedy and they start cutting all these backroom deals and getting paid.
Yeah.
They're all bought and paid for.
And
all
the
of
other
them.
thing is that they're careers. They're careers.
Career politicians.
And they be there for 30 years. They need to get their ass out of there, just like they do the president. 8 years, goodbye.
Yep. But see, they're not going to vote that in because they have to pass that bill for term limits. But we already have term limits. We just vote them out. Vote them out.
Right.
Go participate in the process in the general election and the midterm. There's a midterm coming up on November 6, 2018.
18, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
November 6, 2018. If you're not registered to vote, get your jive ass out there and get registered right now. Stop monkeying around. Stop making excuses.
Oh, man.
Come on.
You know what? Hey, man, you know what? I'll say this while we're talking. It just floored me that 46% of the African Americans in the country didn't vote because they assumed that Hillary was going to win. after, and some people I guess are not old enough, but I'm old enough. I'm before civil rights, through civil rights, after civil rights, and any black American that don't vote, I think they ought to put them in jail. I do.
Yeah, it's so important, man.
All the stuff.
I have a thought though, because I've been listening to you guys here. You were saying something about keeping, the middle class is getting, shoved
It's shrinking.
out. So it's really going to be rich and poor. Well, why? When you were talking about all this, I was thinking this. Well, what about the healthcare system? Isn't that a way to make the rich richer and the poor poorer? Because it'll wipe out everything because people can't afford insurance. They can't afford this. They lose their homes because they had to go to the doctors, and they're going to get in debt and what have you. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yes, you're right. But I think here's what's happening, and we've been talking about this. The big guys who control everything and got all the money, they don't want this to happen. Like I talked to this lady who lived in Canada about a month ago, and she was telling me, you get sick in Canada, you just go to the hospital. You ain't got nothing to worry about. They take care of everything. If you're a Canadian citizen, they take care of you. They don't want that here. This is a money country. These people want money.
The insurance companies don't want that.
No, they don't.
The hospitals don't want that. The doctors don't want it.
The doctors don't want it, and the people who make all of the machinery, they don't want it either.
No.
So it's a big fight, and that just goes to show you that the rich don't care too much about the middle class or the poor, and they don't give a damn what color you are.
Right. Now look at John McCain. He's got the best insurance company probably known to man anywhere in the world. They don't have to pay for nothing. It would have been super hypocritical for him to come out and vote any other way than the way he voted against the project that was presented by the Republicans.
I agree.
Okay? Yeah. Now, you can say whatever you want about John McCain. He's a maverick. He's this, he's that. But at least he's a decent human being. And he didn't want to destroy his legacy, whatever it is. Who knows? John McCain may not be alive in 6 months.
Correct.
Okay? Now,
and he's looking at that, and he's looking at his legacy.
That's right.
And he wants to do. Oh man, I hear what you're saying.
You know, so he stepped up and said, "No, I can't go for this." And it reminds me of when he stood up against this woman that was out when he was campaigning to be the president, and this woman came out in one of those town hall meetings, and he was holding the microphone for her, and she said, "Obama's a Muslim. He's a bad man. He's this, he's that." He goes, "No, ma'am, he's not. No. He's a decent, honest, nice human being." And he walked away from that clown.
He sure did.
Okay.
Man.
I respected him for standing up and not allowing an ignorant, uninformed person to prevail like that.
Right.
He had to set her straight.
Well, I'm glad you're talking like you're talking, because you just made, I didn't disrespect him, but you just made me respect him a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Because see, the thing about him and all them other guys up there, they all got health care.
Absolutely.
They all got what he called a pension. They all are living really, really good.
And they got it for the rest of their lives.
Right.
Do you know that a member of the House, if they are elected 2 terms in a row, they've got health care and their pension for life. A senator is 1 term, 6 years, and they're guaranteed to get everything that they got right now. So they're sitting in Fat City. They don't have to worry.
And then you don't want to vote for the people. But the reason is, hey man, the money guys, boy. That's another thing. When I was in this, when I started reading about successful people, I started reading biographies about people. I wanted to know how they thought. And I read Howard Hughes' life story and came across the fact that he made let me get it right. He made 7,437 Huey helicopters for the Vietnam War, and he charged the government $3 million a Huey, and it cost him $1 million a Huey to make the airplane. So and he was already worth $3 billion.
Right.
Okay? So it's all about money and control with these guys. They don't care nothing about the middle class people. Don't give a damn what color you are.
Now, while we've been speaking here, apparently they're saying if Trump ends key Obamacare funds, the premiums will spike by 20%.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the kind of stuff that they do. These backroom, quiet deals while we're worrying about whether or not missiles are going to come in from North Korea and whether the Russians are going to do whatever they're going to do or what they've done or not done. This guy is cutting the funding to Obamacare.
You understand?
So, again, it can explode the prices that people have to pay. They're intentionally trying to kill it.
And they keep it off the front page so we're not paying attention to it while they're doing it. We thinking about this little guy over here in North Korea.
Right.
He ain't going to do nothing. That ain't nothing but...
No, you don't want to die. Because one Tomahawk missile to the head and his ass will be February, Black History.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And gonna take 10 million of them 30 million over there with him.
That's right.
So boy,
over and out.
They ain't gonna do that. So you just said it right there. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're doing them backroom deals while we sitting up here watching CNN.
That's right.
Oh boy, they think I'm dumb, but I ain't.
In addition, it says on top of that, killing these payments, the insurers would result in an extra $194 billion added to the federal deficit.
Wow.
This is a report coming from the CBO.
Wow.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, folks, y'all got to wake up. You got to understand what's really going on here. This is all about big business. The only reason Donald Trump ran for the presidency and won was to get his hands in all of this money.
Absolutely.
He could give two damn doo-doos about you, me, or anybody else.
Right.
Why do you think he wrapped himself around all these criminals like Bannon, okay, and others in his top-level management or cabinet, his daughter, his son-in-law,
and what about
his
this,
sons?
What's the man's name that is Secretary of State?
Who is it now?
Secretary of State, that wealthy oil man.
Yeah. Ellison.
Yes.
Yeah, from Exxon.
Yeah.
Jesse T, why are you calling me? Well, why in the hell are you calling me on my cell phone? You know what, Jesse? I'm going to hang up on you. Jesse T, who is one of our afternoon talk show hosts, calling me on my cell phone, knowing damn well I can't put him on the air that way.
Oh, that's right.
And he's telling me he doesn't know what the call-in number is.
Oh.
Jesse, you're fired. You're fired.
That's funny.
Oh, my God. You know what, Jesse? You know I love you to death. I'll see you at 5 o'clock this afternoon for the Jesse T Show.
Well,
he wants to chime in on what we're talking about.
Give him the number.
No, he knows the number. It's on the screen. Oh. He's just lazy. He can't get through because the lines are clogged up.
Oh. Well,
I don't want to hear your right-wing knucklehead, knuckle-dragging bullshit today. I'll hear that at 5 o'clock. I got to give him a hard time. Love him to death. That's my radio dog. So check out Jesse today. Uh-oh. I think we lost Frankie. Frankie? Yep. Okay, Frankie's out. All right, Jesse, there's a line open. We got about 11 minutes left in the show. So, Jesse, you can call in. I'll put you on for a couple of minutes to hear your rhetoric. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we lost both of them. Ron dropped out as well. See, Ron never says goodbye. He just hangs up. And then he calls back.
Well, don't answer it.
Jesse, what are you calling my cell phone for? Bye. I'll call the other number. Bye. Oh, my God. How did he get on the radio? Carol, when he calls in, I'll let you slap him around, okay? What happened to Chris? Chris dropped out. Frankie dropped out.
Well, you shut
Ron
Chris
dropped
down.
out. Okay, now you got it.
Man, I tell you, you just confuse me. You're just too technical. Jeez.
How is the phone number too technical?
Because I have to remember it now, and I forgot how to remember phone numbers when I got a smartphone.
There you go. I understand.
You know, it's not my fault. You know that. It's got to be their fault.
So what's happening? We woke up the living dead. What's on your mind?
Okay, here's the bottom line. You guys have got it all wrong.
Oh, of course we do.
You got it all wrong, and I'm going to set you straight.
Yeah, right.
You're going to get straight on the point of the world according to Terrell. Right
yeah, that's it. A limited point of view. But go ahead.
Are you driving around with your Nazi flag or what?
No, actually, I'm sitting in my luxurious, multi-million-dollar, right-wing, conservative, independent Republican house with a giant pool that's shaped like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Interesting.
What was that, your head?
Oh, thank you. I didn't think you thought my head was so big. Wow.
So
okay.
What's on your mind, Jesse?
Here it is.
Let's hear it.
The guy that was just talking that zeroed out on you. What's his name?
Ron Ellison.
Now Ron's got it partially right.
He
at the end of the conversation he had with you there, he has it partially right. And you do too, Lee, because I'm converting you slowly but surely after the last couple of years.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin had a song that said, "Ain't no way." I live by that.
No, I'm converting you. You just don't feel it yet.
No, you're actually crossing over and you don't know it.
No. Because we both are going to meet in the middle because that's what Americans do. That's what made this country so great, is that we meet in the middle at some point. We all do. Everybody does, but they're trying to keep us separate from doing that. It's a lunatic left-wing, right-wing, any-wing media that is governed by corrupt money through the government and the elite corporations that want to keep Americans fighting and killing and destroying each other on the streets. Because in the chaos and the anarchy, they can control what they want to do. You see, no longer can we live, and we get messages and news 8 months later by horseback in the Pony Express. What happens now is because of the technology, they have to do it in insidious and different. New World Order in 94 or 93, when he said it's the start of the 80s. The New World Order. It is the New World Order. There is no New World Order anymore. It's not going to be the America we know. It'll be a globe in the map as you know, America, but it's not going to be that. In 50, 100, 200 years from now, it's going to be Earth controlled by a select people through AI intelligence who are going to kill us all to destroy half the human race because they're afraid of the eons and eons of that could overthrow them if the peasants could get together and do it. But in anarchy and chaos, separation, you and me and Lee and everybody, we are not the elite. And the AI intelligence calls us even more through this fabrication of insurance. Do we not have insurance? Does it cost this? Does it have food? Do we have water? Can we buy this car? Can we live there? Can we have this kind of education? It's going to be that. It's on its way. And what's going to happen is 500 years, 100 years, 75 years from now, our offspring are going to live in a country that is going to absolutely be not represented by what we knew in the past, present, and what we know maybe a few years ahead of us. It's changing fast, and they need to do that because they're afraid of the peasants of the world who are not them, the super elite wealthy who money is no meaning to them. It's only the control over life and death and power. And that's what it's all about. Well, you talked about it and your friend talked about it.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question. If the people who are poor or middle class became more affluent, maybe not filthy rich, but if they were able to buy more goods and services, pay whatever the prices are, how would that affect the filthy rich in any negative way? When they already own everything anyway.
Here's why. It's real simple. People get too smart. And when you start getting smart enough and you start making more money, you start moving into the lower affluency. You know, where the movie stars at.
Turn it down.
Alone.
Thought I had.
What?
No, my stupid phone just went off again. I think
Jesse
invaded my volume here and made it ring again.
Okay, so here's it. in order to move up into the fluency factor, you have to have some sort of more intelligence. You have to learn about new things. You have to become something different. You have to understand how things work.
Mm-hmm.
You get smarter. You get smarter through education. It makes you step up to the next level. Education, unless you backdoor into the California lottery and win $700 million, then you're lucky, okay?
Right.
And I want to come wash your dishes every day of the week, and you can have me as your stepchild.
No,
right?
I wouldn't
problem.
do that.
Okay, but here's the point. You have to get a little more intelligent. And the more intelligence that spreads amongst people and population, it's a virus. It's a cancer. The evil elite of this planet don't want people to have intelligence because intelligence begets other intelligence. It's taught. It's shared. It's exchanged. And if that happens, you have a lot of challenges. You have an uprising, very similar to the French Revolution. That was only in one country. Imagine if that happened all over Europe at that time, when Europe was the precipice of the world, of commerce and economy and stuff. You see, they don't want that. You have to keep people poor, dumb, and stupid, hungry, hurting, and fighting each other. And break up the language, break up the religion, break everything down so people have to live for here and now at what's in front of their nose. And that's what they're doing. That's what I've seen in my lifetime. We've gone from a class of people that you could strive for more. The civil rights that so many people talk about. It was an upward swing. Things were getting better through the fight and struggle. But they're not getting better now. They're getting worse. And they're getting worse for everybody because they want us to fight, kill, and destroy each other. It's just that simple. Anybody that doesn't see that is living in a fantasy.
I think we see it. I think most people that are alive and alert about what's going on in the United States and the world get that. But I don't think that's the way it should be. I don't think the wealthy people, the elite group, the Illuminati and all of that, whatever, have to be concerned about that. If you allow people to prosper, they make more money because they own every damn thing anyway.
Money is irrelevant to them, Lee. Money has no amorous to them. They own everything, so money becomes irrelevant. The Queen of England, the Rockefeller, they, in terms of money, into their understanding at all for generations. So money becomes irrelevant. They already own everything. When you own the dirt, and you own the government that taxes you on the dirt, even if you own the deed. When you own the government that taxes you on the dirt, and you own the dirt to the core of the planet, to the highest satellite in the sky. Money is irrelevant because that's power.
So they're
Money
insecure. What are they afraid of? What is it they're afraid of? There's got to be some fear.
They're afraid of the loss.
What are they going to lose?
They're going to lose their lives. They're afraid of the loss. Because if one thing that the French Revolution showed, and there has never been a revolution like the French Revolution. Just study it, and how the peasants, that's what they were called in France at the time, how they uprose and threw out the aristocracy and the monarchs and chopped their heads off in the plazas by guillotine, okay? But what happened right after the French Revolution? A dictator came into power, Napoleon, okay?
Another mental midget.
Yeah, people are sheeples, man. People are not leaders. Most people are followers. We don't lead.
And I understand what you're saying. We got to go here, but
okay,
and we can.
I took up your time.
No. I love it. I love that yin and yang, that pushback, because I'm about listening to and exposing all points of views so that people can make a rational decision about what makes sense to them. But let me just say this. To the powerful people around the world, to the wealthiest people, the ones that control and manufacture and control everything, don't be afraid, because if you're making good stuff, the poor people, the middle class, will find a way to buy it. Look at Microsoft. Look at Apple. These guys came from the bowels of our world. They were smart guys. They created something great. People are buying it. How has that hurt them? It only made them wealthier. So with that in mind, Check out Jesse T this afternoon at 5 p.m. right here on this same network called thepowerofvoices.com. Facebook, YouTube, ATV Network, the whole nine. Don't miss his show today. It's going to be a great one. Jesse, give us a quick teaser what you're going to be talking about today at 5.
Hey, did Amelia Earhart, one of the world's first women professional pilots and one of the greatest pilots of her time, did she really die on or during the concentration camp? I got author Roberta Beeson coming in. She's going to talk all about it, a new book about Amelia Earhart.
That sounds like an interesting story. All right, today, 5 o'clock on thepowerofvoices.com, the Jesse T Show, straight on the point. Until tomorrow, 9, no, not 9, 10 a.m. Pacific time on thepowerofvoices.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.